50, 52cc Vevor chainsaw, our $120 chainsaw. We tried to fix the biggest problem with it that I've had so far. This grommet would not stay into place, and it just kept eating out down here. Every time you'd pull on it, it would saw its way down. This little rubber grommet would not stay in place. So, dang it, go start streaming. Anyway, it's good up till then. Started talking. Anyway, this little grommet came out. So the chat and everyone was like, well, let's try some super glue, maybe some JB Weld. Found some JB Weld. Also, when we last pulled on it, if you'll remember, it got stuck. So it came out of the reel here. It went inward because the string was down in this position and we were pulling almost outward with it. So we'll get you set up here. We'll see about getting this thing put back together. The epoxy, it's hard. It could probably be a little harder. Then again, it's really old, so who knows if it was ever going to set up right to start with. But let's go ahead and throw, there's the recoil. There's this little plate that goes on here. It just lines up just about how, it only goes one way. It's got grooves and everything. It kind of locks down into like that. You've got a little pin there, it looks like. Yeah. Okay. So we're about ready to throw this back onto the saw. Get this up here. Trying to get you guys positioned a little bit better. Maybe. Should just be able to throw this on. Never had this apart before, so I've never had to glue it back together. Hopefully it goes as smooth as I'd like it to. Which it does not want to do. It looks like we got to start it up in this corner and work our way around, maybe. It is being difficult. There's that spot. Okay. There we go. Clicked in. There we go. Pull on it a couple times. She's latched on there. And now we should be good to run our screws in. It's got 4 of these hex style screws. 2, 3, 4. We get those started in, then we'll have to put the handle in there. Whoops. Whoops. That was clicked in all the way up top. We lost one of the bolts. I seen it jump out. Where did it go? Ah, shoot. There it is. Where was that? Right there. Wish I could get you guys a little taller, a little higher. See what's going on here. There we go. That might be better. Hello, I can't say your name, but you are seen. So we're going to go ahead and run all these down. Maybe we'll start them a little loose and then we'll tighten them down at the end to make sure everything wants to fit into place. Wish I would have stopped and found the right, attachment. Could have put this on a socket, but oh well. This is working. So we can run this down, then we'll throw the handle back on it. Anyway, okay, I see we got some people in here. Let me tighten these down a bit. We'll go over why we took this apart real quick and what we did to it. I'm sure, who all's here from yesterday? Anyone viewing here from yesterday? Nobody? I've got silent viewers. All right, we can tighten these good and tight now. Tight, tight. That one's, we're missing it. Oh, why am I not? What? There you go. It's just way down there. Tight. This one still a little loose. There we go. Now it's getting tight. Okay. Let's make sure it will recoil. Well, all right. Seems to be doing what we want it to. Let's throw, let's throw our handle back on. So anyone just joined the stream or didn't see what we did yesterday, this little grommet, there's a rubber grommet here. It kept coming out when you pull on the rope. And what happened was it kept sawing down this plastic. This plastic's pretty soft. So what we did, we took hold on, where'd it go? Oh, well, there. You guys know what a zip tie looks like. We took a zip tie and a soldering iron. And we went down and melted it into the plastic to help build it up. Hello, Will Johnson. So we built it up, and then we found some JB Weld. This is a 2-part epoxy. You mix the hardener with the steel. I had to cut the back off open because this one was old, and it's pretty well done. You mix those up, and then we lobbed it on top of that. So hopefully this grommet will just stay in place. And we rebuilt some of the structure in there with the zip tie. We'll see how long this lasts. But we need to throw the handle back on. Originally, we were going to try super glue. Someone said try crazy glue, super glue, and it's like we needed to do a little more than that. And then someone else was like, well, try melting the zip tie. It's like, well, we can try that. So we are very much audience run if it's something I have access to and we can experiment around with. And honestly, I have a lot of weird things on hand, so sometimes it works out. Now, I gotta figure out how this handle goes. It goes back there, down in front. Maybe we need to come up from behind. It came off there, so I can go back on. Wow, this is taking a bunch of stuff off. Let's see here, it should slide down into this slot. It's like grooved out for it. Should slide into that groove there. There we go. And we should be pretty lined up on the back here with 2 holes. So yeah, we got 2 holes there. And we got 2 holes here and here. Now we've got these Phillips head screws. We can run them in and tighten them down. Maybe I got you guys a little too high now. But we can start them up, start them in here. I don't work on saws very often. Don't enjoy them. I like running them. I don't like working on them. Everything's just kind of got to be lined up just right for these things to want to work. especially, you know, while I'm working off camera, I'm way back over here at a weird angle trying to work on it. Just makes it even more difficult. Grab our second screw. Get it started in there. Maybe. Yeah. It's going into plastic, so it'll kind of cut its own groove. But for like $120, this really hasn't been that bad a saw. It actually, we'll go make a few cuts with it after we get it running. Make sure everything's good with it. Okay, I don't want to tighten these super tight because I want to make sure we get the back side of the handle on there first. I have to move it around some. Get these holes to line up just right. Oh, dang it. Drop it on the ground. Let's see if I can see the... There's the hole. There we go. One started. See if I get number 2 going. Looks like I need to bend up a little bit. Here. Alright, we are going. We'll go around, make sure they're all tight, because that's kind of what you're holding on to. That's a good thing about the one on the bottom rail. It kind of slides into place, so even if the screws did give out, well, hopefully they don't, but it'll still kind of hold itself. You know, you're not going to go dropping the saw on the ground real hard if your handle gives out, although it shouldn't. Those ought to hold it. I wonder how the steel is, if it's going into a metal body or plastic. We can go look at that real quick. I can bring it over. I'm a little curious now. Hold on. Hello, Costal, Louis Flimmo, and Will. Sorry if I'm butchering your names. I'm not good at that. Well, it looks like the whole body's plastic on the steel. So it looks like these probably just screw in the steel as well, or plastic as well. Everything's very... However, I will say this has a plastic handle, whereas this has a metal handle. So it's got that going for it. Oh, well, the whole handle's one big reinforced plastic piece. This guy, we might pull this apart too while we're on stream, but we'll go test this out. I need to see about tightening up the muffler because it's just flopping around, and I don't know how far. I at least need to take this and the air breather off. I don't know what else is holding this back cover on, but she's a little loud since that muffler's loose. Life is short, entirely long. Words of wisdom. Okay, so this thing should be, hold on, did I tighten the bottom ones? Let me double check. You don't want to go out with loose saw. This thing does nothing but vibrate, so you know, it don't take much to, all right. It don't take much to mess it up. Or have the screws back out. All right. Seems pretty good. Let's go out I have a piece of wood shortly. Not enough room. We'll find out if this thing will just fall apart. Hopefully not. Hopefully I don't just eat all that epoxy out in the first couple pulls. We can make a couple cuts on that big guy. This is one heck of a stump. For anyone new to the channel or just now watching, all of this was filled with trees and stumps, and we just leveled it out the other day. Dug that out with the backhoe over there, the 4400 Ford. Make a couple cuts with this. Now the chain's kind of dull, so don't expect any super fast speeds, but we're mainly wanting to make sure this stays in place. Okay. Well, that's good so far. Is it the fastest thing in the world? No. For 120 bucks though, she does cut the wood. Look at all that sawdust. I'm covered. Ain't bad. Woo, boy, I am just... took a shower in it. All right, let's go see about that little one. We'll work on it. Probably ought to throw some grass seed down while it's all nice and tore up like this. Get something started. Let me go get some. Hello, Stinful? Stin? Ah, man, you guys killing me with your names. But hello. Whoops. Oh. Let's go ahead and grab this little saw. Try and get the muffler to tighten up. I'm going to have to find a tool for I've got one somewhere. Hold on. Dang it. Where did it go? Oh, shoot. Okay. So here's our next subject. The $80 chainsaw. And we have a loose muffler on it. And I don't know what all, this one's got Phillips heads holding the side cover on. So I don't know what all we're going to need, but we can at least take the air filter off. Back cover, your little air filter. She needs to be blown out. So it's just a screen, nothing super special. And we're wanting to get this little cover off. So it looks like this side's going to have to come off. There's a Phillips head screw down there holding it. I've never had this apart before, so we're learning together. Let's try and get this Phillips head off. Okay, it came fairly easy. Drop it on the ground. Uh-oh. Okay, there's a little rubber grommet. Let's not lose that. It holds a choke into place. Well, the screw came off, and it went right there. Okay. Don't fall in the barrel. Okay. I don't think there's an opening there. Okay. It goes in the barrel. We will never see it again. I don't have a magnet that long. So, yeah, whatever is holding it's behind this cover. I don't know where my quick adjust tool is. I thought it was either there or here. Just the right size? Or... No, that's the big size. No. It's the wrong size for that one. That's for the steel size socket. Dang. Let me see where we put it. Oh, that might have what I need. Maybe. This, they might be on this set. What is that, a 14, 15? Probably some metric size. What are you? You're a 14, so it's a ½ inch, it's a 13. Okay. We got it. My favorite tools, these little electric ratchets. I've got a Milwaukee and it's hyper tough. They just make working on this so much more pleasant. Zip it on, zip it off. Real quick like. I can pop the side cover off and see. There's an air Phillips head right there. Right up there. We can take that off. And is that it? Or is there another one on the back holding it in place? It looks like something else might be holding it. Nope, that's it. Okay, it's just 2 screws. One's behind the cover, one's out where you can get at it. Here's our muffler that has come loose. I was thinking, man, this thing got really loud. Oh dear, from Pakistan, instant gas geyser. Not taking ignition, replace new batteries. The fault is still there. Instant gas geyser is not I'm not totally sure what you're talking about. Instant gas geysers not taking ignition. I can't think of anything on the channel I've done that would, it's called an instant gas geyser. Where is my little quick set? There we go. Let's just see if we can't tighten these up. I tried earlier to go through the case and tighten these, so I don't know if that's just going to work or if we're actually going to have to... Uh-oh. Oh, these are super tight. They should not be like that. I was gonna say we could, if it only wants to go in so far, okay. We could put washers on there and make this work. If I can get them backed out. Or we can figure out why they're half backed out. And not loosening up any. Or not tightening down any. Why are they backed out so far and they're not loosening down it? You know what I'm saying. The words are not coming out correctly. What is going on with the threads here? It's like there's a bunch of dirt and gunk. We might have to clean the threads right there. Okay. There are long bolts. If nothing else, we can put some washers in there to make it press tight. Hopefully this one will come loose for us. Ooh, there she goes. Try not to snap anything off. So that goes directly into the head, you know. I was about to give up pushing on it. Boy, I need the right tool. I don't think I have a set of sockets with these heads on. At least it go that small. I have some large, really big ones. Probably I'd invest in a set. I'm going to be working on saws. Okay. So here's our other one. The washer was like that. I almost wonder if the washer should be the other way. You know, so that pushes down inward on it. Because that's about how far out the screws were sitting. Hello, Jose. Can you read my question and give answer? Pakistan, my instant gas geyser is not taking ignition. Replace new batteries, but fault is still there. I don't know what an instant gas geyser is. You're going to have to be a little more specific. Dryer, maybe? It could have a thermocouple in it. Although I'm no expert when it comes to that. It's a little thing that sees the heat and tells it can kick on, like the pilot light. But I don't know. I don't have a good answer for you. I'm sorry. We have yeah, you can tell it's been blowing out the side there. We have not had the full exhaust. Looks like our gasket, or if there was ever one there, is not there. There's a little bit of goo. I wonder if I could put some high temp stuff on there. I don't have any gasket, like metal gasket material. We'll clean that up a little bit, I guess. Try just putting that back on. It doesn't look like there's ever a gasket there. Which there probably wasn't. Okay. Where do we want to go from here? If I wasn't streaming with you, I'd look up and see if that washer's just turned backwards. Let me go get some fine grit sandpaper or something. Clean that up a bit. Or, hold on. Where is it? Where's my brake clean work? That'd be fine. A little bit of brake clean. Oh, shit. Oh, I hope that thing's not cracked. I Yeah. Okay. We'll just hit it with some parts clean. See if that'll help it. Try and just clean up some of the gunk around it. Yeah, it'd be nice if it had a actual seal there. Yeah, it doesn't look like there was ever a gasket on it. Okay. Let me see if I got any red RTV. If any viewers tell me about instant gas geyser, I will thank you. I don't know anything about that. Have I not fixed it yet? No, we fixed the other saw first. We got the other saw fixed up. This is a different one. The Vevor is up and going again. The big guy down there, our fix did hold up. It seems like it's going to work. This is another one. I'm in debate on how I want to do this. And if I have any red, ultra red gasket maker, I do. We could put just a little dab around here. No, this isn't a steel. This is a, well, it's a knockoff of the Vevor. It's actually just branded chainsaw. That's chainsaw 2500. That's what it's called. It's $80 on eBay. That's what I gave for it. It was $80. Honestly, it's been a really good saw. The only issue I've had with this one is these screws backed out. I think it's because they had this thing on there backwards. And there's no gasket on it. I feel like there should be something. I've got Permatex RTV red. This is high heat stuff. I'm just going to put a little glob around the outside just to give it something to seal with. It probably doesn't need it, but it won't hurt anything being there. Because all it is, it's on the exhaust side. Everything's already done. You know, it's just a little something to help keep it in. There we go. A little bit of goo. It needs a little bit of goo on it. Wouldn't hurt, that's for sure. She is kind of loud. Okay, so I want to blow these holes out with that brake clean real quick, just because make that as clean a surface as we can. Because those, the bolts, I don't know if they backed out or they were just never tightened up to begin with. But these super long bolts, it just didn't work out. They let the muffler get rattly and loose. It wasn't what we wanted. Okay. So let's try it with the washer like that instead. I can't see any reason for it to be the other way. Be totally honest with you. This way they don't have to go as far in. It still fits in the groove. It should hold it tight. Where's my other big bolt? Great. I'm all here it is. It's hiding under the barrel. Is not the best workbench to work on. We call this barrel rebuilds. Needs a gasket, Loctite. Oh, Loctite on the bolts. Hold on a sec. Yeah, you're right. You are correct. Hold on. You are correct. I did not think about Loctite. I only have blue, but it's better than nothing. We'll put a little. Well, honestly, as much RTV got on that, it might be okay with that. We'll throw a little dab of blue on there. Oop, don't want to get that up in my chain. Oops. It didn't touch anything important. Oh, shoot. Loosen that with the... Throw a little dab of blue on there as well. Okay. All right, let's see if these will tighten down far enough for that, or if I'm putting washers on there. I'm hoping they tighten down, because something's not quite right. Like, I don't know if they just didn't thread those in far enough or what. Actually, the more I think about it, the more I think that's sticking too far out. So that's probably going to touch that, isn't it? Yeah, it is. They had it that way for a reason. Okay. Well, shoot. Nope, I didn't think about that. Okay. I don't work on these for a living. Says chainsaw on the bar. Yes, it does. It is very generic, generically branded chainsaw brand. All right, I am going to have to flip these around. I just hope the threads will, if not, we might have to chase those threads down in. Find a tap and figure out what size, if I even have that size. All right, this washer does have to be this way. Otherwise the plastic won't fit. So this was all a waste of time. Trying to do it the other way. Did not think about that. Line the hole up. At least we got a bit of gasket maker and some Loctite. Maybe they won't back out this time. Because there was no Loctite on there from the factory. Or, yeah. Dang it. It's getting tight quick. Boy, the bolts act like that's where it needs to be, but the plastic housing is like it needs to be somewhere else. So I don't know. Yeah, it's getting really tight to turn. Right there. Huh. That's interesting. And not good, because that's about where it bottoms out. They don't want to go any further in. Last time you sharpened the chain, I haven't replaced this at all, and it's definitely seen some contact with metal and roots and stuff. So it's not the greatest chain even when you do sharpen it. Okay, well, this is a problem. Maybe, maybe not, maybe. Yeah. It's not touching. Yeah, it's kind of touching. It kind of rocks in from the back. It's got like 2 hooks back there. And then it latches in, and it's supposed to have your 2 screws in the front. I should be able to, yeah, there's enough space for that. Okay, all right, here's our plan. Need a gasket. I put some RTV, red RTV on there. Get shorter bolts. Well, I was just checking, was I wanted to make sure there was enough room for those the heads of these not to touch that. So I'm going to find some little washers, and we'll shim it up until that's making it tight, because these just won't go any further in. And honestly, I don't have shorter bolts that are going to be this size in pitch of thread laying around, because they're probably metric. I almost guarantee they're metric. So I'm going to go on the hunt, find me some small washers and space that out. Because if I just flip this thing around, it's got it sitting too far out. And it'd be touching this plastic. Or I could cut the plastic out. If the gasket was in there, it would tighten up. You think it's that thick a gasket? That'd be a substantial gasket. Yeah, maybe so. So it was missing one from the factory then, because I've never had this far apart. Well, we're going to make it work. I tell you what, I don't have gasket material for high heat. I've got gasket material for like we're going to redo a carburetor or something, but I don't have a steel shim gasket. I don't have any parts chainsaws laying around here. They're this size. Not that, no, I don't. No, I don't. We're gonna do the next best thing. You work on these all the time? Okay, so that makes sense what you're saying. It'd have a really thick gasket, and that is where it's supposed to be. So I got shipped one without a gasket. It's a paper gasket? Are you sure it's not a, hold on, I don't have any. I do, well, no, that's pretty preformed. I don't want to go cutting that up. I thought it'd be like a heavy, like steel reinforced gasket. Make it and double it up. Well, see, I don't have any. Well, let me show you what I got. Which it's not rated for high heat, what I have. I have this stuff, and it's like a paper. It's more like a felt. It doesn't really, and it would take a lot of doubling up to make that thick enough with that stuff. This is more like for gaskets for like it worked good on that carburetor on that. I was able to make a quick gasket, but not really for high heat. I'm just going to find me some washers real quick. And we'll hope that the goo to make a gasket, the RTV, has what it takes to hold up to it. Should have a box of bolts. It has some small washers with it. No. Dang it. They're all too large. if that would be enough. And they'd put it under some spring tension to hold it up. Probably need more than that. Don't smash it tight. Pressure will probably blow the silicone out. That could, there's a good chance that might happen too. Yeah, I'm gonna need a couple more washers. But yeah, we'll try the silicone out because I don't have I don't have the right stuff to make that style gasket. I feel like a paper one would just burn because that gets really hot. I'll be back. I've got a couple ideas on where I got small washers at. Maybe some little ones we need. This guy. A bunch of screws, but no washers. Nuts, bolts, small washers. Very small, very thin. Maybe. Found a few. Might be enough. Might be too many, which would be fine. Yeah, it's almost a couple too many. Okay, all right, cool. Hey, we're on the right track here. Cut a gasket from a soda can? That still would be very... Heaters. You got no gas in it. Hope you got it fixed. Hello. Heaters. What about the heaters? I'm a little lost. I was away from the stream. Trying to give me ideas. No, that's a good idea. The soda can. That is a good idea. It's just it's a little thin to take out the slack, but that is a good idea. Maybe do I even have a soda can around here? I kind of quit drinking soda out of cans. I used to do it all the time. It got cheaper to just buy a bottle. Oh. No, wrong one. Well, let's take this out. I don't know. We've got some red RTV on it. We'll see how that does. By the time I get done messing around with it, it might be set up. As long as it's taken. Okay, lock washer, couple washers. I did find some tiny washers for this, so we'll see if that's enough. You type weird? Oh, you're all right. No, I appreciate the ideas. It's just I don't have everything for every idea to try it out. Where did I put my... Oh, there it is. Right in front of you. Okay. Well, that's pretty tight, snug. Hopefully the cover will clear it with all these washers spacing it out. If not, we might just drill a hole. That's always an option too. But on the plus side, it's at least tight. It's not rattling around like it was. Okay. Let's see if the cover wants to go back on. Yeah, seems like it's going on okay. Yeah, both those are locked into the latches on the back, it seems like. Okay, should be able to throw our little screws back in here. There's one. Where's two? There's two. Okay, everything's covered. I think that's a win. Loctite, we put some Loctite on there. I had some blue laying around. I didn't have any red, but it ought to be fine. I'd like to find a cap for it though. It's around somewhere. Uh-oh. Don't see it. We're going to have to find that. Let's see here. We got the screen, the filter. Kind of blow the filter out while we're... There we go. There we go. Kind of blew the filter out, so it's clean. Cleaner it was, at least. It's just a screen. Right on, throw our little rubber piece wherever it went, because it holds the choke into place. There it is. This goes around the choke, and it slides into this groove here. I don't know if you guys can see that. It holds the choke up in place there. Like that. We put our back cover on. I think all 106 are very technical. Then Pakistani, you were very skilled. Our guy asked about waterproof Loctite. Oh, please anyone give me an answer about gas instant geyser question. I don't know what a gas instant geyser is. But waterproof Loctite, yeah, that would be for like marine applications, wouldn't it? What a basic answer, huh? I don't really have much to say on it. Is that a cheap chainsaw? Yes. It was $80. And it not coming with the muffler gasket Explains why it was $80. I guess you had to buy that extra. Some parts not included. Some assembly required. Choke works. Okay. Now we just need to throw our side back on. I only bought these saws cheap because I had a lot to do with them. Otherwise, I really don't have a ton of woodworking to do. Why would I go spend $400 or $500 on a big, expensive saw when these cheap ones have been getting it done? Now my weed eater, though, I was doing a lot of mowing. I spent about $450 on that guy, or 400, whatever it was. That's a FS 111 RX steel. And yes, I did spend some money on that because it's something I use a lot. I use a chainsaw once in a blue moon, and it's not really worth me spending a bunch of money on a really expensive saw when these guys are doing the job, same level. How many horsepower does it have? I don't know exactly. That's a good question. I believe it's supposed to be it's 2,500, so I'm guessing it's 25 cc. So not a whole lot. Maybe 1 horsepower. Maybe. I'm not totally sure of that right off. I have to look that up. Let's see here. This should be pretty tensioned up. I didn't mess with the adjuster or anything. We should just be able to slap the side back on it. Right? Oh, the adjuster's on here. That's right. Should go back on. It was pretty close to tension correctly when we started. This can be the worst part here, getting your bar lined back up and retensioned and making sure it doesn't jump off the first time you go to run it. Or it's not too tight and it's locking up on you. Okay. We didn't mess with anything really, so it should be pretty close. Go ahead and zipper. Nah. I did not need the million-mile long extension on here. Yeah, she needs to be tensioned up a little. That's just a hair loose, don't you think? All right. So we back this off. Okay, I'm about ready to take this off the million-mile extension. There's no need for that. Not for this. How old is it? I just bought it. It's, a couple months old, maybe 3. I think I've had it like 3 months or so. Pretty new saw. Just shipped with there's the lid to my Loctite. I don't want that going bad. This stuff's expensive for a little, like $4 or $5 for that little guy. I don't remember exactly, but it was something like that. Flathead screwdriver is what I need next. And I think the only one I had I was using for that. How have we gone this far without a flathead screwdriver over here? I found one of my favorites. Popular Mechanics screwdrivers. You put a little wrench on there, help you turn. I always really liked these. Dad had a few of them around there. I always wish we had more. These were some of my favorites. The tensioner is very not the best thing in the world on it. It's very cheap plastic. It's on the side here. Tensioning screw. Is that right? No, that's wrong. That's wrong. What am I doing? It's tight. It's righty-tighty, lefty-loosey, right? There we go. Now starting the tension. We wanted to go in, not out. I don't know. This whole thing just feels. What was it shipped with? Well, I can show you that. Hold on. I've got the box over there. Yeah. Yeah, it's got a little slop in it. All right, we can tighten that up. I'll show you what it's shipped with. We figured out this thing clicks into about 40 foot-pounds on its own. I'm pretty sure it was something like that. I did a whole video testing this in the Milwaukee, and this one actually hit harder than my Milwaukee did, which I was pretty impressed because I gave $20 for this. It was on sale with the battery, and it's been a great little unit. Let's see, box. Not all that it's shipped with. No, not that. No, here's the box that little guy came in. It came with a funnel, an extra spark plug, not the screwdriver. It did come with a T-handle spark plug with a screwdriver on the end, a squinch they're called, a little mixer for your fuel, a cover for the bar, the instruction manual, and it did come with a couple little Allen head tools. So they were expecting it to be loose. And it looks like it came with extra rope. It came with extra pull rope. It's just a random thing it came with. So, yeah, it came with a few things. Echo, no, it's not an Echo. I think it's supposed to be an Echo clone. It's like one of the little top handle Echoes. I think it's supposed to be kind of a knockoff clone. Do I have a fog machine for Halloween? No, I do not. I don't really do anything major for Halloween, and I'm at the end of a dead-end street, so no one's going to see it anyway. Like, very few people would even come down this way for any reason, so yeah, I know I don't have a smoke machine. But we should be ready to go. Oh, I had Super Clean send me a message the other day. I need to get back with them. They're wanting to send me some products to review. I really like their stuff, so I got to get back with them too. See about getting that shipped in here. I'm kind of wanting to fill my parts washer with it because it does a really good job. Okay, here we are out, and we're going to go try out the chainsaw and make a few cuts. She's not the sharpest chain in the world. I tried finding some at the store for it, but it has a weird size chain, and it's not one that anything local carries, so I'm going to have to order one off the internet, I guess. It's got like a 53 or something width, which no one else seemed to have. I could get thinner, but then it wouldn't ride in that bar right. I'd almost be ahead to buy a different bar for it that's got a more common chain size. But here we go. Let's see about. Give her a couple primes. Make sure the switch is on. Should run a lot quieter. Pull the choke out. On this one, you don't really have to push down the choke. You just pull the switch. Once you pull the trigger back, the choke shuts off, which is nice. And this one does normally take a minute to warm up. I don't know if that's because of the muffler causing an issue or what, but we will see. Okay. Shut the choke off. much better. It's a lot quieter. But you know, for 80 bucks, hard to shake and stick at that. That chain is done. Garbage. It's no good. We could try it on something smaller. This tree's never gonna grow. Yeah, she's not, yeah, that chain needs replaced. But as you can see, it does power through pretty good. It's a decent power to bar ratio, and it's light enough you can one-hand it. You know, well, we can go figure out exactly how much this weighs. I've got a scale in the shed. Flop it on there and see how heavy it is. But you know, if you had to one hand this, if you're up in a bucket truck cutting down small limbs, which is really what this is for, need to sit down with a file. I know, I don't think there's many teeth left to actually give a good edge to anymore. We were getting into we were doing along fence lines and up along there. It definitely hooked on some of the fences. You know, we knew this chain wasn't going to last very long. And this is the original one it shipped with. We've done quite a bit with it. And it's been running the dirt and stuff. It needs replaced. But the saw itself, not bad. As you can hear, that's a lot quieter than it was. Should just fire up. Big difference. What'd you have for lunch? I had some chili, just with hamburger, beans and hamburger. I'm not a super adventurous eater, but it was good. I don't know. We could try hitting this with a file. It's hot now. Don't melt my barrel. But we could definitely give that a go. I've got a file over here somewhere. I did. What did I do with it? I have a handle on everything, ready to go. Well, never mind. question. Where did my file go? Okay, well, maybe we don't have a file right handy. Oh, there it is. There it is. It's full of gunk. Clean it up a bit. That's full of junk. Yeah, I'm getting a little file here. I guess we could try it. Cream and onion, nice. Had burger. Right now, sour cream and onion, nice. Yeah, I guess we'll lock the brake on. I'm sure there's a method, and that's not part of it. Shove that back in there. Yeah, these teeth are just so wore down. There's just nothing left to hook into. There just isn't much left to sharpen. They're almost flat in there. I don't want to hear anyone giving me grief about, oh, you should only go one way with the file. It doesn't matter. You don't have to go, oh, every time like that. Going forward's not going to make that much of a difference on it. It's not going to wear your file out. It's a little sharper. Oh, they got a lot going on. Police and ambulance, it sounds like. Yeah, that tooth, there's just nothing there there's no hook in it. Uh-oh. Yeah, most of these teeth are there almost isn't a curl to them. They're just flat. Yeah, it's just... Yeah. Yeah, it just needs replaced, guys. There's not much left to save. What the? Hold on. Okay, it's just my mailman showing up. I'm like, all the sirens, and now I hear a big vehicle coming this way. It's like, what's going on? Probably can't even hear the sirens, can you? Barely. Barely an edge. Not much. Let's grab him something. It might do something. Slightly better. This is just kind of ridiculous. We'll give them all a little of them. She's definitely seeing the end of the road. This is almost. Don't come here looking for a guide on how to sharpen chainsaw blades, because this ain't it. If anyone's telling you it is, they lied to you. I do very little work with chainsaws as it is. I do some, but I'm not against buying a new chain when they get wore out. Except for when I can't just find the chain on the shelf, and then it's a problem. I gotta order one of these off the internet. Because it's a weird size. It's not 12 inches ways how wide it is. I can't find one that's the right width to go in this track. Either it's going to be too small and be flopping around in there, it's going to be too wide and not fit. Yeah. You're supposed to hold it like 45 degrees or something. That might be the most accurate thing I've said this whole video. Sharpened my chainsaw for the first time in like 4 days ago. Do you know Jelly Roll? I know he's a singer. I know some of his songs. Don't ask me to recite them to you because I don't know him that well. But I do know him. He seems like an alright guy from what I've seen. Which is, some people get their money and they're total jerks, so that's a big plus. That one's taking something. Be like me, it's only got a couple good teeth. That one took some sharp edge to it. This one, there's nothing there. Yeah, there's nothing. There's nothing there. Or if we come full circle. I should have put a dot on this so we knew where we started. No, that guy's taking some edge off. Such an exciting live stream, sharpening a chainsaw blade. All right. Nope, that guy's dull. Yeah, that took some. All right, well, maybe we haven't come full circle because that took some edge. This thing ought to cut a lot better. At least having a few teeth to grab with now. They were probably the ones pulling all the weight in the first place. We'll start on the small one when we test this. That last thing we were cutting before we try the big guy. It might not cut through it. That thing's just about maxed out for this. Although that's not really what this saw was designed for, doing big logs. This is more of a branch trimmer, something to take up in a bucket truck with you. Pruning, basic small sticks fall. It's not for cutting up big logs like that guy is. Okay. Let's go for round 2 with a somewhat sharp blade. First time shows tool makers rolling over in the grave watching you back and forth motions. It doesn't matter. It doesn't make a difference on the file. This has already been proven. That's an old wives' tale. Do I live alone? Yes, I do. I just, uh, I play Monopoly with real land. I like buying properties when I can, although it's expensive. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, it matters. Killing. No, it really doesn't. There's been videos disproving that. It doesn't make that big a difference on a file. Well. No. It needs replaced. It did a little bit better. You're killing me. Change the chain. When you go one direct, no, it's still putting an edge on it. Anyway, wouldn't have made a difference. So anyway, it needs a new chain. We knew this already before going into it. But you guys need to do a little research on that file thing because you're wrong. Doesn't make a difference. Okay. So anyway, I think that's probably going to end it for today. We'll go back to probably playing a game or something. think we're pretty well done. Leave a like, hit subscribe for more. I will see you all in the next one. Oh, potentially inappropriate. Boy, it's so bad it won't let me see it. I don't know what you guys said. Probably something about the file. Ooh. You push and then you pull back. It's not going to make a difference because your edge is going to be on top of this. You're going to push and pull. You're still leaving a sharp edge on top. Anyway, you're not rounding off the top bit. You're not rounding the edge out. Anyway, all right. I will see you all in the next one. Have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe for more.